Hi folks, what a great way to start off the brand new week as we're seeing plenty of sunshine throughout the day, melting more of that snow, especially for our hometowns more north of the Quad Cities. And with that, temperatures very similar to what we enjoyed yesterday, with not only some lower 50s from the Quad Cities and points southward, but yeah, nice temperatures even farther north. We're still noticing a little snow with readings in the mid to upper 40s. Weather staying nice and quiet for a little bit longer until this weather system rolls on through the area, and not just impacting us, but much of the nation's midsection will be impacted by this storm with snow, with rain, with wind, even some freezing rain. And we'll be focusing on the rain with even a little ice for parts of the area as well. Already, winter storm watches and warnings have been posted for parts of the Dakotas, going just north of the Quad Cities into Minnesota as well as in Wisconsin. No headlines around here, but that could eventually change as the system gets a little bit closer to us. The only big concern that we have is a very weak front passing on through later on tonight. It's going to add some clouds with it, just an outside chance for a sprinkle, but I think most of that moisture will stay aloft, so looks like a pretty dry night with just a few clouds briefly before we bring back a little bit of that sun on Tuesday morning. By then, we're looking at those numbers just a little bit on the cooler side, with lows expected mainly around those lower to mid 20s. Then heading into tomorrow, after starting off with some sunshine, more clouds will be rolling in, all part of that system that's slowly growing just off to our south and west. Maybe a little snow in areas well to our north, but at least for our Tuesday, we should be looking pretty dry. Just a little bit cooler because the passage of that front coming in tonight will swing those winds a bit more on the northwest, and that will allow for some slightly cooler numbers, but still above the norm, which is about 38 degrees for daytime highs. So that's looking pretty good, even with all those clouds rolling in. Those same clouds will thicken and lower, and that's going to lead to some of that moisture going into our forecast. Going to move the clock all the way to 9 a.m. And yeah, we're talking about some rain, a mix of some rain and maybe even some freezing rain even around the immediate Quad Cities, and then a little bit of some light snow. As we go through the course of our Wednesday, you can see how that freezing rain and even some sleet, even that rain mixed in, all coming in around the midday and afternoon hours, really focusing more of that ice potential a little just north of the Quad Cities, and then we can kind of dry things out nicely heading into Wednesday night. But what we're going to keep an eye on is the accumulation of ice. Still focusing that more north of the Quad Cities, especially right along Highway 20, where the colors that we're showing here could be, wow, maybe close to a ½ an inch of ice. So the concern now is going to be the possibility of some power outages given some of that ice collecting on those tree limbs or branches. They snap, they fall on the power lines, and thus you can lose some power. So we're focusing on this as we go through the course of our Wednesday and Wednesday evening, especially for hometowns to our north. Of course, we can keep you updated when it comes to our weather, not only on our News 8 and Storm Track 8 app, but also with our good friends at iHeartMedia and the over half a dozen radio stations here in the Quad Cities. 8-day outlook, you can see that after that system pulls on through, we're going to be dealing with a pretty cold Friday, but like we've been noticing in past weekends, we're going to rebound quite nicely with highs back in the 40s. For more weather information, go to our website, that is WQAD.com.